Welcome children. Std-IX History, Chapter 1, Sources of History. Children, you have learnt these sources in your Standard 7 as well as last year. Still this year also we will be learning these sources taking into consideration the history of India in the post-independence era. There are different sources which we need to go through for studying history. They are written, material, audio-visual sources. We have to take note of various sources at the regional, state, national as well as international level. So we are going to study these sources more in detail. Just have a look at all these written sources. Then we will study about them. So after seeing the web diagram about written sources, you might have understood which are written sources: newspapers, periodicals, encyclopedias, diaries, postage stamps, reference books, government gazettes, documents in archives, correspondence are all written sources. In the pre-independence era, there was no alternative to print media, especially newspapers. With the arrival and maximum widespread of internet now, an alternative for print media became available. Still today also, print media is considered to be a powerful media. So let's study about these written sources, children. What are called or known as written sources? The documents or an object which can be read, an article or any information that can be read is known as written sources. When we study history, these sources play a very important role. They help us in understanding our history. Newspapers, periodicals. Periodicals are actually articles or information that is published after a particular period of time. That is every after weekly, monthly, every after 15 days, which is known as fortnights. So encyclopedias, books where all the information about any particular article or topic, subject is available. Then diaries, where daily information is written. Postage stamps, you might have seen it. Then reference books. Then documents in archives. What is the place known as archives? Archives is a place where government takes care of all the documents that is available about history. It is a place and it is taken care of. It is known as archives. Then correspondence. All these are written sources. In the pre-independence era, as we have studied, children, newspapers played a very important role. All social activities, political activities were printed. The information was available through these newspapers. But now we know it at this present hour of time. We know that because of internet, now everything is available on internet and lots of information is also stored. So somehow we have an alternative for print media, and that is internet. Even though, children, with the widespread of internet, still today also print media is considered to be a powerful media, because we get to know about all the details about, if we think about society, if we think about state, if we think about different regions of India, rather different parts of the world, we come to know with the help of this print media. Children, we also have learnt about archives. So still I would like to ask you, do you know about archives? The place where historical information, historical documents are preserved is known as archives. The main office of the National Archives of India is at New Delhi. It's the largest amongst the archives in Asia. As we are learning about sources of history, after learning written sources, actually we are still learning written sources because newspapers are also important from the point of studying the sources of history. Newspapers. Newspaper is a powerful source of getting national, international affairs, politics, art, sports, literature, social and cultural affairs. It provides supplements on various topics. Basically, it contains matter which closely related to our daily life. There are daily, weekly, monthly, annual magazines regarding different aspects of human life. Some newspapers produce special supplements at the end of year to take an overview of the important events to make us understand it better. So children, we will study about newspaper. Newspapers are also considered to be very important sources of learning history. Now children, imagine about the newspapers which were prevalent, which were there in the pre-independence period. Let's talk about Kesari, Maratha, Amrut Bazar Patrika. These were the newspapers available in those days. If you look at the matter content given in these newspapers, you'll come to know that these newspapers provide us a lot of information about India's social aspect. We come to know about what kind of societies were there, what kind of religious activities used to take place in those days, what was the political situation in the pre-independence period. So no doubt newspaper is also a powerful source of getting this information. At present, when we talk about newspapers, children, they give us information about international affairs. We even read at a glance and we come to know about the art, about sports, about literature and all other cultural affairs also. It gives us supplements on various topics which contain matter which is closely related to our life. Some children, we come to know about weather cast report, we come to know about political happenings, we come to know about social activities that are going on at present. You are very well aware, children, nowadays because of COVID-19 situation, these newspapers have been stopped printing and it becomes we have to totally rely on the television network to find out the information regarding this pandemic. So you can imagine that these newspapers are very important. Some newspapers are published daily, some weekly, some monthly. There are some annual yearly magazines are also published, and they take care of every aspect of human life. So amongst the sources of history, newspapers are considered to be very important. Let's learn about Press Trust of India, PTI. After 1953, the Press Trust of India has been an important source of primary details regarding important issues, events or subjects. There are events or issues, articles on economy or finance, science, which are handled and published with utmost care. PTI has started using satellite broadcast technology during 1990. This becomes very important for writing the history of modern India. What is PTI? Press Trust of India. This PTI has provided reports, photographs and articles on different issues like financial or scientific issues to newspapers. PTI has started its online service also from 1990 once it started using the satellite broadcast technology instead of teleprinters to send news all over the country. This material is so important for writing the history of modern India. Do you know, children? The information published about the annual issues of the Publications Division of the Government of India is authentic and trustworthy. The reference book India 2000 is created under Research, Reference and Training Department and is published by Information and Broadcasting Department. This department contains useful information about land, its people, national emblems, political systems, defense, education, cultural events, and account of the developments in the field of science and technology, environment, health, family welfare, agriculture, water supply, sports, transport, communication, civil supplies, etc. So have you understood about this department, children? The reference book India 2000 is also created under this department, Research, Reference and Training Department, which is then published by Information and Broadcasting Department. So this Information and Broadcasting Department has been established in the post-independence period in India, and this department publishes different kinds of information related to the land, its people, national emblems, environment, welfare, family welfare, social welfare, then related to economics, finance, planning, agriculture. So there are different topics and subjects. The information about them is published through this department, and the website of this department is available. If you want, you can also search for it on the Google, on the internet, and try to get more information about it. And the website is www.publicationsdivisions.nic.in.